record, right? I'm recording. One of the benefits and the reasons why UX3 even exists is that we have real projects to work from. Like I said in past classes, conceptual projects are fine, but they don't have real people that you're working with. And it's not about real or fake projects. It's about having human beings be a part of this. So you're the first human being in the UX portfolio. You're learning about how to present UX content via your UX portfolio. The Silverback project, that is, you're learning design systems through Silverback. Your life, my life would be so much easier if I just made up a design system for a fake application. That would be so much easier. That'd be cake, right? It's hard to, like, that last meeting was tough, not because Joe and Allison are difficult. It's just a complicated project. And today we're going to do a content inventory. And that requires taking a lot of screenshots. It also answers one of your classmates' questions about where do I put all my stuff? Put it in Notion. Well, when do I put it into Figma? When you're ready to use it. Get it out of Notion, put it in Figma when you're ready to actually put it in your portfolio. Other stuff that can go inside of Figma, in Notion, that won't go into Figma, speaking of your UX portfolio, are videos, animations, notes, right? All this stuff that is metadata around your project can go into Notion, right? And when it's ready to actually go into the final project, that's when you copy that stuff over into Figma. And the last one is which one? Protopie. Too many tools in my head. You're learning high fidelity, quote unquote, advanced prototyping via Protopie. And I was asked during office hours, like, why Protopie? I said, because it's free. That's it. It's a point and click tool that coding is optional. We can use Framer to do such things. Adobe XD is slowly getting those tools, but between InVision, Sketch, and Figma, they're all medium fidelity, right? How do we do actual micro interactions? And that's where we're going to start. So, right. So you're learning these things. If you're taking any class with me, I play that Mr. Miyagi video from The Karate Kid. Don't make me play it again, where he's upset that he's like, I'm not learning how to punch people. I'm not learning how to kick people. He's like, yes, you are. Right. But at the same time, you're standing the floor. This is a spoiler. A spoiler. Also, it's a really old movie that probably some of you haven't seen. So I should probably play the video. All right. So we're going to be fast on this one. Let's go ahead and click into Silverback Learning Solutions from the course website. And what I'm going to do right now is just start dropping in some screenshots, okay, and show you how the Notion can work for us, right? We're going to have this bucket. It's just this bucket of screenshots. So I'm looking at the Silverback page. I'll screen share in just a second here. Okay. All right, let's get into micro interactions. And there's a lot of been written about all of this stuff, and there's really no point in kind of me. There's no point in me making this into slides when there's already good stuff out there, like written by other people with way better diagrams. But all that said, Figma, right? This is why we're using Protopie, because that's about it. And even if you want to do animations, you have to use this smart animations, and you have to use the animations that they give you, right? This is what they give you. Like, what if I want to create a custom animation? Like, one of the things you're going to have to do as a UX designer is do, this is why motion design is so important. Okay. Even that example that they show right here, right? With all that, I don't think we can do that in Figma, right? Right. So, Alyssa's shaking her head no. It's like, yeah, like, so why are they showing this, right? If we can't do it in Figma, why is it there? So this is why we have other tools, right? And typically what you're going to be being to do is, you're going to have to work with your developers to code this out. And sometimes your developers say, I can't have you sit with me and say faster, slower on this animation. You're going to have to be able to make it yourself and either code it out or use Protopie or equivalent. Okay, and to make this fast, uxtools.co. Under, again, we're not learning how to use Protopie. We're learning about high fidelity prototyping through Protopie. You can use any one of these. I've used Marvel inside of evening workshop. I did an evening workshop for introduction to UX prototyping, and we use the Marvel app. or Marvell, or however you want to call it. This is another really popular one called Axure. Yeah, ProtoPie was never going to move up because it doesn't have a free plan, right? There's no free. There's a trial. There's no free. Free always wins. So good. So there's that. We can leave that up. All right. In terms of your this week, all of your daily engagements about getting through this course as quickly as possible. You're welcome to use their example. I think their example is kind of it has a lot, and if you're the kind of person that likes a whole lot of stuff, this is a great example to work from. Like I said in the card, though, make a blank file. Right? If you had a white screen with black text and it still use these features, that's fine. Okay. What the project here is, like, figure out how this stuff works, and then say, like, how can I increase the fidelity on my existing project using ProtoPie? Yeah, that's what you're looking for. So, so some of you might submit me this one, right? The one that they gave you. Some of you might make your own. Right? Some of you might start working on your actual project that you want to convert to ProtoPie. But regardless, right? You're going to get through this tutorial, and you're going to get a nice rough overview of a nice, not rough, a nice overview of how this tool works. Good. All right. And again, it's not a good use of class time for me to go over a video that you just watched. So, but if you need a specific question about ProtoPie, I can help try to answer it. All right, so there's that. This would be my lecture from Monday that I didn't get to. Okay. The difference between low and high, right? Really what we want to talk about is there's a middle ground, and a lot of companies don't want to talk about being middle fidelity. So of course we understand low, right? This is a great low fidelity one. Just look at it. It's perfect. Right? It is just wonderful. My kids, oh, I should take a picture of this in the background. They basically made a playground. This is gonna sound so weird. They basically they made a playground out of old tires. Yes, I have 4 old tires, scrap wood, and stumps. Right? They prototyped an entire playground out of that stuff. Right? Balance beam out of that stuff, and I can't stress that enough. Right? It just gets the job done. It is a minimal viable product, or the MVP. And there's a slide here, right? And this is what we think high fidelity prototyping is. Sorry, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and especially even at Adobe's feelings, especially, right? But this isn't high fidelity prototyping. This is medium at best. You're just stitching screens together that you tap on, right? Where's my slide to reveal? Where's all the micro interactions that we're going to talk about right now? How do we do that? Right? And this isn't bad, right? If you take this as low is bad, medium is bad, no, right? We're at the next point. You understand low, you understand medium, right? Now in UX3, we're going to talk about high fidelity. All right. So high fidelity, long one. Here, we're just get right to the con here. It's hard. It's a lot more work. It's a lot more coding. Okay. That means you got to get all of your majority of your decisions made in the low and medium. Okay. And basically you're creating the thing like, hey, let's go ahead and start making this, right? Let's go ahead and code this thing out. And there are a lot of design shops that would say, we're not even going to make all these fidelities. We're just going to go straight to coding it. I know Basecamp infamously, the good people at Basecamp, and like all their designers code because they're like, that's great, but that's a good idea, but it's not real yet. Right? And everywhere you go work, there's going to have a different mentality about this. All right, so there's that. There's one slide on here that I really like. Oh, it's on my other slide. All right, like that. Let's go ahead and get through micro interactions. Okay, so long story short, right? Here's a micro interaction. Okay, this was my Monday lecture that I'm trying to be fast about. Right, so you have these like screens. Sorry, I have a new mouse, and I went back to a mouse, and y'all don't need to know that. So, but if it's jerky, this is why I'm getting used to my new mouse. All right. Every time you like something, right? Like that's a micro interaction. Like that is a feature that needs to be done. Okay, pull the refresh is a micro interaction, and all those things need to be designed individually or in separately, right? Right here, when you delete, right? Swipe left to delete, swipe right to archive. These are slowly becoming patterns. And today, when we take a look at what's it called? Silverback. I forgot their name for a second. Oh, man, it's on record. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Allison. Right. Those, we're looking for patterns there. Okay. Good. So other examples of micro interactions. Here's a famous, here's a common one, right? I'm a swipe right person, right? Does anybody have a preference? Because you can set these now, right? You have user preferences to say, I want, when I swipe a certain direction, I want it to do this. Anyone want to yell out what they have theirs set to?
Swipe left, delete.
Yeah, swipe left is delete, because we read left to right, but you know, in non-English countries and non-countries that read in another direction, that's kind of odd. So
I like
that's
to swipe down to delete.
Swipe down. I pull the refresh on everything, right? And when it doesn't refresh, on pull the refresh, I get so upset. Here's a micro interaction that Apple is still toying with, right? How many people have actually the short press versus the long press versus the hard press, right? Apple has 3 different presses you can have on an icon, and it's frustrating because when I want the short press, not the long press, right, it does something different. And so that's a micro interaction. Okay. This one's good, right? UX3, we're doing, we will do D3. This is one of the D3 things you can do. Okay. You can do like a data visualization. I'm gonna go fast on this. Customer engagement, providing feedback, right? Here's something that drives me crazy. Like, did I press the button? Right. Let me know, like, what field am I in? Watch what happens when I click on the URL bar. Micro interaction. Right, showing me websites I've been to. Micro interaction. Okay. All right, we good? We can keep going through these. There's a lot of them. Okay, I'll post these links, but for right now, all right, some of you, I'm not calling anybody out, just to be a heads up, these are the 2 people that got their ProtoPie stuff up, so good job, y'all. Okay, get your stuff up there, right? The step 1 is just get it off your computer, make sure that you can get it into our Teams. So after today's class, just at the very, very least, just upload it to the cloud, Proto Cloud, and make sure that it's there. Okay, so
is everyone able to see the active ones? Sorry, I can't. Is it like we're working with each other, or is this just?
No, this is our workspace, right? So everybody has an individual project in our workspace.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So
is that a current screen?
This is a current screen, yes.
Oh, because I uploaded mine this morning.
All right. Make sure you're not pushing it to your personal page. If you do that, just move it from your personal page to our Teams page, because I can't see it when it's on your personal page. My guess is majority of you have your stuff on your personal account, right? Your personal space. You just need to move it to our team space. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is, if you create a private project, so you see the little lock by my name there, make sure you share it with Colin, because if you just create it and it's private and you don't share it with Colin, then only you're going to be able to see it.
Oh, that's what I did. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Okay, let's get into this. All right, dashboard design. That's the other thing we're learning. Woo, look at this. All right, I'm in. I'll provide you the login name and password later on, right now. But for right now, we want to take a look at this thing together. And this, I can't stress this enough. This is probably the first place to start on a lot of projects. Start taking photos and start taking screenshots and kind of understand what we're dealing with here. The next thing I want to bring up is the actual report. You can go ahead and download this now. Go ahead and open up the Milepost e-file, use cases. Use cases, case study, you know, call it what you like. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so we took care of the first project, and the first project is to talk to the client and have an understanding of what it is that they're trying to do and their needs and who they are and, you know, why you should work in this project. And I can't stress that enough. Like, if there's anything, I would go back and review that lecture, over that recorded, when they presented that day, and just make sure you understand this again, because I had to before class. It's like, what is this? Of all the many projects floating around in my brain and in your brain, right? We want to have a place where we can always go back to and refer to. And so, all right. So really, there's two people that we need to address here. So let's start with the users first. All right. So if we're getting the screenshots here, I'm going to go ahead and put users on that same page. This is the nice thing about Notion is, as I type, it's updating in real time. It's reactive. Web3 people, notice how it's reactive. I'm typing and it shows up on your end. All right, let's just list out the user roles here. We need to use this thing. I'll give you the first one. It's easy. There you go. Don't forget them. Correct?
Colin, I think we're looking at a screen that you are not looking at.
On the course website, go to the Silverback Learning page.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So who are the next users of this?
Teachers.
Yeah. All right. And if we just think of this as, oh, we're just making something for teachers, kind of missing it. Who else is looking at this thing? Because it talked a lot about printing stuff, printing and how things don't print out right. Who else is looking at this?
Parents.
Parents, perfect. Okay. And then eventually the kids. All right, I'm gonna put in parentheses and kids. I don't know the kids. Okay. All right, is there anybody else I'm missing here?
There's school admin as well as the Silverback admin.
Okay. And so we can keep adding to this, and this is going to affect what we look at and what we design for and what we're taking inventory of. All right, so this is our I'm gonna rename it from screenshots to, this is really our UI inventory. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a whole bunch of screenshots. I'm gonna drop them into here. Right? And then you're gonna take those screenshots, right? You're gonna ask me to make these screenshots. You're gonna take them and you're gonna do whatever you want with them. Right? Some of these you might be really important to your design. Some of these you're like, no, this is not extremely important in my design. Conceptually, before we move on, I need to talk about the Pareto principle. All right, anybody know about the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule? Does anybody know about the 80-20 rule? Who can tell me about the 80-20 rule?
80% of the work, or 20% of the work yields 80% of the results.
Yeah, or or the other way. Thanks, Evan. Or 20% of the cause is 80% of the problems. And so really we're taking a look at is, don't look at this as, man, I have to design 100% of it. Like figure out like what core 20%, right, will get us 80% return. And I can't stress that enough as we're looking at this. All right, so now that we got the conceptual stuff out of the way and we've defined the users and we've refreshed ourselves on what this thing should do, well, let's burn through these screenshots. All right. So if we can unmute everybody, you can kind of yell it out, and I'm going to start making these screenshots together. All right, go. We're on the home page. Do we need this?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So Command-Shift-5 is your friend. Y'all know about Command-Shift-5? Okay. You want this window? There's the first one. Okay. All right. So now, if you just take the screenshot in its entirety, right, we're missing the entire talk about micro interactions, right? So, all right, so what specifically, right, what's the first thing we need on this? Can you see my, does it go gray when I do this? Oh, shoot. Can you see my, oh, it won't show you my cursor position, will it? Nope. Oh, it's too bad. All right, what do we need from this page?
Dashboard.
Which one? My
The
students, my apps, or my data.
uppermost.
Good. All right. Oh yeah, this would be the dashboard. Rhiannon, you are right. I am wrong. All right, there's that. Next thing.
The announcements.
announcements. Lisa, say that again.
The announcements, like right in the center, the COVID-19 updates.
The gray section that says Silverback announcements above it.
Your cursor's on it.
Oh, right here?
Yep.
Oh, thanks, Jason. All right. All right. Let's put yourself in the role of a teacher or an admin, right? Someone who worked for a school, right? So you're basically acting at given agency. You've been given agency to help address a student need. Okay. Is it my students, my apps, or my data? Like, let's say you had to just pick one of the three. Which
My
one of these,
students.
right? And that's that. I don't like. Man, our industry is full of really rough terms, but this is the slash and burn, right? Or the more technical term is this is the auditing that we need to be able to do. Like, we can't just look at it. It's like this is what we're trying to get down to, that 20% that we're talking about. Right. So really, if we take a look at this, what is the most, all right. So does everybody agree that this probably would be the most important thing? Okay. All right. So if we have this third tier column, okay. So now that I got those screenshots, okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop them into, okay. All right. Look at it go. All right. Yay, go Notion. Look at Notion taking all those screenshots, right? All right, so put those the screenshots in, and they're inside of Notion. So does anybody have any pushback on my students? We had a stack rank this 1, 2, 3. Okay. Another way to take a look at this is that, look, we only have so much time, right? We only have so much budget. What is our focus? Right. And what we can't say back to our clients is like, well, what is it going to be? Like, what do you want me to do? Well, that's why we hired you. You're supposed to help me out with this. The other thing here is it's a 3-column layout, right? And if we need all this information, then doesn't the 3-column layout kind of not work, because here's the other stuff? Don't you think behavioral incidents is kind of important? Why do I have to scroll to get to it, right? And then all these thoughts are what we're taking a look at. All right, right here, micro interaction, right? When we click on add behavioral incident, modal micro interaction. I'm going to go ahead and take this one right there. Good. Okay. All right. All of the stuff in here, right? Setting the time and okay, the calendar widget. All right. We have all been thoroughly annoyed and angry at calendar widgets. Why are they all so different, right? Because we designed them, designers. We got bored and said, you know what? The calendar widget needs a little bit of flavor. And I was like, well, okay, so let's get out of this and let's get into each one of these, okay? So we're in let's see here. Let's go ahead and get into plans and interventions. All right, so here's, if I was a user of this, this is one of my pet peeves. Is this a heading or is this a link? Right. I don't want to have to just click and tap on everything to like have an understanding of what it does. That's called mystery meat navigation. Right, you're just gonna throw stuff into this unassuming can and say, hopefully I open it so I know what it is. Okay. We want to be more direct about it. Okay, woo, lovely, isn't it? Okay, so we've identified that the dashboard is one of the patterns that we need to have. Okay, and when you get in this by yourself, right, you're gonna be able to see this. Okay. So we're going to capture this. We're going to grab one on the class list. All right. Let's see here. Let's take ELA. ELA is Early Learning Literacy, period 2. Okay. So let's take a look. Here is, what's W and X, y'all? That's Adobe. What are these two?
Is it Word and Excel?
Word and Excel. Oh, thank you. All right. Trisha is right. That is Word and Excel and CSV. Okay. All right. So let's take care of this example right there. What heading should be in front of these? Because did anybody else have any clue what what that did? I didn't. What
And
heading
say
should
export.
export, download, right? So those are one of the features that we need to have, right? All right, I'm gonna unmute everybody and we're gonna yell this out. Okay. This is a line. This is this is one of the things we gotta get good at. So I'm gonna unmute all. Okay, and y'all need to be involved in this. All right, so let's take a look at this table. What's one of the features that we should tell Joe to implement? Because, right, I want to, this thing is Emily, this is already in alphabetical order, right? By first name, last name. How do I sort all of these? Greg?
Yep.
Yeah.
So do I have an option to sort here?
There is
Okay.
not.
Have like a filter.
There's filtering and sort. And this is
What about a search option?
search. Okay. All right. Who found the filter and the sort? Where is that? I don't see that.
I was saying like to add it.
Oh, yes.
I don't
exactly.
see it on the screen.
All right. Thanks, May. All right. And this is where we can say it now. Let's hang on to that filter and that sort. Would that solve with, like, let's say that was an easy thing to implement, right? Hey, Joe, can you put this in? That might solve a lot of the headaches, right? We're nearing that 80% now that would help people. All right, so all these individual links, okay, and they're all in caps. What happens if I click on it? All right, so then we're into the actual e-file page, right? Now, Colin, this is what the client wanted us to redesign, right? And so we can make this, we can go ahead and jump right into this, like this part right here, and just start redesigning it from here, everybody. I just go, and says, I'm just gonna duplicate the number of tabs and just do this. Why did we spend so much time? Why did we spend 10 minutes getting to this data?
That's how the user's going to get to it.
Right. This is why I don't want us to just jump. And it's so often what we're trying to do is just like, just tell me what to redesign. Like, stop talking, Colin, just tell me what to redesign. It's like, I don't know what to redesign yet. Right. And a lot of times your clients are going to say that same thing. It's like, we just need this fixed. And you're like, well, what is the bigger user experience there? Yeah. So we'll come back to that. Okay. That's how we get to that data. All right. So we have a filter here, download, export. Okay. All right. Stack navigation. Oh, drop down. Forgot about the drop downs. Woo. Okay. All right. So micro stuff, okay. We don't need to worry about these for our project, but the things to keep in mind here is we have a primary navigation and a secondary navigation, right? And as always, the secondary navigation has become a kitchen sink, right? A catch-all. Oh, I don't know where to put it inside of here, so we're just gonna drop it inside of this and hopefully someone finds it. And a good thing to know as I take a screenshot of this would be, is there anything in the secondary navigation that would help us, right, in defining this page? Okay. All right, got more screenshots. All right, talk to me before we leave the screen. What else do you want?
Around the
That's awesome. That's, well, I got what I asked for.
Go for it, Randy.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm still thinking.
Oh, I thought that was your voice who's talking.
I think that was me, Evan. But
go for it.
Maybe a way to limit what you can see, because if say you're trying to like look at this table and you don't need to see half the you could just like turn those off so you can just focus on the categories that matter. And then if you wanted to print that out or something, that would save ink and paper, I assume.
Well, you're touching on of my last point, also part of ink and paper. But can you see what's at the bottom of the screen? We're gonna take care of Evan's questions. All right. And watch what I do with my new mouse cursor. Ready that? See? Ooh, big deal, Colin. We've all had that. All right. Do you see that?
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
Okay.
My comment was going to be on the headers that are, or the column titles that are stacked like that. I think I read somewhere that that's a data visualization no-no.
The stacked columns?
Well, yeah, like the title where it says,
Oh.
yeah, right there, that it's selected like that.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fun. Just like, you know, that might be one of the projects. And notice I said fun because this is fun. This is the fun part. This is the design part. Like, imagine what we could do with this page, right? So if we take Evan's idea, what Danielle just said, and it's like, maybe we go through each individual student, right? And we take all the stuff that we have to scroll to the right to see, right? And, you know, and as designers, like, oh, look at all that white space, right? And why we have a lot of white space. Like, if there's something that needs to be in a drop down, that needs to be in a drop down, right? So, and what I'm trying to say is maybe this is something we suggest to the client, right? Then maybe, and a lot of times it's okay that the problem isn't where we all think it might be, right? We spent all of the presentation here, like, well, you know, if we fix this, right, it'll fix everything. It's like, no, maybe getting to there is the issue. Yeah.
So that's the only way to get to the e-file is through that table?
Reports student info. And then we're going to go into student information. Jackie, I'm going to answer your question here. Student information, and then we're right back to another table.
Oof.
Oh, always count your clicks, right? Count the breadcrumbs in your path, not just the clicks, but the breadcrumbs in the
Can't
path.
they also get there through the student search in the top right?
Did I miss that from the presentation? Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's how she was.
Yeah, that's what she said was the most common way to access, right, Lillian?
Yeah.
Oh, the good memory. So maybe that's it.
To do is see, like, there's so many different ways to get to the same spot that we could just compile it to make it less. Does that make sense?
I think that's a great way to go, you know.
Well, and if that student search is the most common way they get there, we should bring that down and to be like a search bar that you don't have to click on.
What if we just made like a tab that said student e-file, kind of like how there's other tabs, but one that's emphasized for this that shows.
You all can't see me smiling, but all your ideas are great. That's right. We're gonna unpack a lot, and after this class ends, after this project ends, this is a good thing to put in your UX portfolio, right? Not this project, not this project specifically, but the idea. What is the status of this project? The status of this project is we left them. We provide the client with you know, future design revisions that we can make. Good there? Okay. I'm gonna mute everybody, and if you want to unmute, just you guys know about the space bar trick?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just hit your space bar and start talking.
Yeah, boy.
For that giant table that we were looking at with all of the names and all of the acronyms and stuff, I was thinking that it would make sense if you hover over the underlined acronyms and it shows you what it is instead of having to click on it and visit each new page every time.
You know, that might be good for, oh, come on, Smith. That might be good for someone new to this, right? But like if I hovered over that, it would tell me what ELA is, ELP is.
Or just like the student's credentials at a glance in that window instead of having to go to a whole new page.
Oh yeah, like a quick look. Good old quick look. All right, all good options. All right, do we care? All right. All right, let's just go ahead and grab the first one. This is Aaron Emmy, A. We're going to start with e-files, reports. Okay, so we're into here. We use the search. We ended up in here. All right, so now what I want to do is actually take a look at patterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of the tabs, but before I go through the tabs, I kind of want to lay the groundwork for this. So in taking inventory, we're trying to see what is consistent and also what is needlessly repetitive. Right? And then also in finding what is needlessly repetitive, we can see what is missing. Right, and a lot of you have already identified that, right? A search is one. And so I want to get pragmatic about this, and I'd love to just talk more about these ideas. But let's get into this. And the first one is I'm just going to give it away is this tab interface, right? We have tabs. Okay, that is the first design pattern. Okay, all right. So we threw those tabs in there. Okay, all right. What happens if I'm going to click on this? Guesses?
Collapse the menu.
Gonna collapse.
Okay. Okay. Now, what is the rationale for collapsing that menu? Good. That's part of the inventory. And that's the whole point is now here's our expectation. If I go to anywhere else inside of any student e-file, right, I should get that same functionality somewhere else. And why am I keep talking about this? Because if it only exists in this one place and it doesn't have a whole lot of use here, like shouldn't something take this place? Like what benefit is this? Okay. And if it doesn't provide any benefit anywhere else, what should happen to this? It should go away. Like the suggestion should be this feature should get removed because the amount of work to make this feature, small or not, right, is it as useful as it could be? Okay. All right, other things we need to take a look at, easy stuff, low-hanging fruit here is labels. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so this right here, I'm gonna actually pop open the screenshot. Oh, you can't see the screenshot. Take note of this section right here, right? There's the patterns. What are the patterns? Right.
Tables.
Yeah. What kind of tables? Well, what components of the tables? Break this down now. We have our atomic design, right? This is an organism. Okay, let's break it down into its molecules and atoms.
Headers for each table.
The name of the table header, that's the pattern. And this is what we're designing for. Okay. Now, what are the table rows? What do I have highlighted there? I can't tell. Right? So we need to put that in. So that would be a molecule. That molecule is missing. Well, what's the atom? This is the atom. The individual table header itself. Okay. So notice we haven't gone very far, but already we've identified a whole lot that makes this thing go. Okay. Good. I went through that.
Why are there so many 5s in the grade section?
5 in the grade section?
Under school information, the last table, it says grade 555.
Oh, I think that's just placeholder.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Placeholder data.
Okay. I thought
it's a fake person.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's one of my gripes, right? Small gripe. It does, to me, it's massive. Take a look at how school information is laid out. Okay, and designers, we're all guilty of this because we can't stick to a design system, right? This design system broke. That doesn't have a colon, but that has a colon. And those are the really small things that begin to add up that we need to start addressing. All right, let's get into performance tab. Woo. All right, so now this is going back to our tabs. Let's take a look at this. This section right up here that I have highlighted. What's the issue here in terms of UI, in terms of just a user interface?
There's a second layer of tabs
that look completely different, right?
Yeah.
And do they behave the same? And this right, that's that design consistency. These are the design systems that we're trying to make, right? So one of the, I mean, if you want to get ahead this weekend and start designing this out, make some tabs, make consistent tabs that they can use across all of. Okay. All right. Then we have this entire section right here, which just looks completely different. Right. Notice these table. What is it called? When you float the label inside of the border. Oh, there's a name for it. I can't think of it. So the tabs are different, right? These table headers are different. So we're going to capture that. Okay. All right, state assessment. All right, let's look at this thing together. Here is a table that you need right there. All right, so we have a table label, right? And all right, what does the plus button do for us? Have expectations, because I forgot what the magnifying glass does if we click on it. I can't remember. Guesses?
It shows the graph.
Shows the graph. What's the other guess? I'm proving a point here.
It zooms in.
It zooms. The whole point. Thank you, Randy. The point here is we don't know, right? So it's either make it more clear or take the feature away, right? Because obviously it wants to be used. There's an icon for it, right? And we get a modal overlay for the zoom. I would not use a magnifying glass icon for a modal overlay, right? So things to think about. We're gonna have to take this entire screen because this is a modal. Command Shift 5 is your friend, y'all. Use Command Shift 5. Okay. All right. Oh, we are running a little bit long. All right, print and cancel. Here's a small one in terms of micro interaction. Okay. All right. Now, already print and cancel are green and red, correct? Here. And we've already seen, oh, look, even the window, the modal has a completely different UI. There's a square and an X now. We've never seen that before. And this is what the design system is trying to show, right? Like designers, a good way to look at this is how many typefaces can you put onto something before it doesn't make any sense anymore? And this is kind of what's happening here, right? We're just throwing all of these fonts onto here and not understanding it. Look at that print icon. All right. Okay, see this print icon? This one has print in green, okay, cancel in red. And but then here's that print icon. So we're gonna
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Do you think the difference in the print icon is because they're using like a PDF generator tool or something like that? So we might not even have control over the UI of that icon? I don't know. It's just a thought.
I'm choosing my words carefully because I don't want to hurt anybody's. Well, I'm not trying to spare anybody's feelings. They're just using it's a hodgepodge of technologies put together. So basically, that's a plugin, that's a plugin, that's a plugin.
Okay.
Technical limitations will always be a hurdle for designers. We want to do something, and the development team will always push back and go, that's just too much of our time. Mm-hmm. Right? Or they'll always push back and say, it works, so why does it have to look differently? And how you design around that is that's why we're here.
Yep.
How do we design around it?
Short answer, yes, but pretend like we can change it.
I mean, you can always do this too. Yeah, here we go. There you go. Okay, there's just a lot of, I mean, there's jQuery confirm, there's Toaster, there's Fresh widgets, there's another, this is, there's jQuery UI. I mean, it's just a lot of add-ons, right? So there's 2 versions of jQuery for some reason. All right, sorry, Joe, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, I just, maybe, yeah.
You're answering a student question, so thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, we can just cut that out. All right. Things here, right? Small stuff. Okay, small stuff right here is consistency in labels, right? Again, consistency in labels. Okay, add labels and links. Put that in. Okay, I need to go fast because we should have been done 10 minutes ago. All right, this shows up nowhere, right? So we're gonna need to figure that out. What's the best way to navigate through that plan? All right, when you add something, right, is a single select the best route to do this? What are some of the more modern UI ways of adding something versus a select menu? Just because this is only a single select. This is great for picking zip codes. This is great for picking states because that number will always change, that like be fixed, right? And especially when you have to read stuff in alphabetical order. Here's your, what? Oh, I didn't spell plus icon. All right, this has been the modern equivalent, how we add and remove stuff, right? Because right here, this is what we're doing. We're adding to all these things, and it should be a visually plus and add benchmarks, right? Again, all right, so now we've hit something. We've hit our same table, but we have an outlier. Okay, we have an outlier in this graph. And when Joe was explaining how this graph gets drawn out, I thought it was kind of interesting, right? From like a development point of view. It basically takes this. Oh, we also have an outlier in terms of, okay, look at that non-aliased font, right? Outlier in that graph right there. Also have an outlier in that check mark. Okay, I mean by outlier, this shows up here and nowhere else, and that's fine if it shows up here and nowhere else. If that helps convey this, right? But it doesn't for here. Okay, because that check mark should be somewhere else. You can ignore that. That's, oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm getting nerdy. I thought that was a HTML code, but it's not. All right. So now we're back to a magnifying glass. If I click on this, what should happen? As we just identified in the previous tab.
Mobile pop-up.
Mobile pop-up. All right, this better be doing mobile pop-up. Good. And I think that might be a good place to stop. Okay, so in the last 30 minutes, is that enough of an example of doing a content inventory? Do you need me to do more? Oh, right there. Look at that. Woof, woof. Like we just talked about add stuff. I forgot about that one. Look. Okay, we're going to add to program here. Look at the add to program. Okay, that button shows up nowhere else. Okay, so in our design system, what have we identified? We need a way to add and remove stuff. Right, and okay, a good place to start too this weekend, other than just like throwing stuff out there. And again, I'm not saying get started. I'm saying you're welcome to get started. Okay, again, good ideas need time to incubate, and bad ideas need time to die. Right. Okay. Sure. So, oh, right. I gave it away and I did it. Right. I was gonna say, what is that supposed to do? Mobile pop-up, good. Print. What did I just say? A good place to get started is just take care of the typography. Right? Go with what we love. Start there. Like take this screen and just fix the type. Okay. And a good, fast, easy prototyping that you learned from a certain class that you've taken with me, right, is just to come in here and change the fonts, right? And just take a screenshot of the fonts. Okay. And that should do it. Any questions? Okay.
I don't have a question about Silverback, but I did log into Notion using my Eagles email and I still don't have access. So if you'd be able to give that to me, that'd be cool.
Okay, we can take a look at that. So this is Arial. Is that right? I always forget how to spell Comic Sans. I think it has to be in quotes. Right, use your rapid prototyping tools. This thing should not be in points. Right now, Joe, you hear me out here? This should not be in points. It should be one M. All right, I can do this all day. There you go. So now it's in a serif font, and you can see the difference here. So start there. Okay. Start with the low-hanging fruit. Okay. Color pick. Oh, forgot to color pick. Use the same dev tools, right? Not just color pick the screenshots, right? Start putting these colors together into a palette. I'm forgetting all these words today. Into a palette, and see how it looks. And those will give you enough atoms and molecules to start designing with, right? Good, good.
Do they have any sort of branding style guide, like with typefaces and colors and stuff like that?
They answered that question, and anybody remember that what the answer was?
I think they said they didn't want to limit us, so no. But I also think that they're gonna want something consistent with
what they
their nav, because I know they said the nav we're not gonna change.
Yeah.
So my plan is to kind of keep my colors similar to what they already have.
Right. Okay. But in terms of type, there's no specific guidelines there.
I'm gonna make a page. I'm gonna add a section under our screenshots there that you all can just add your. Oh, look, I just posted a receipt with my credit card number on it. Ignore that. We'll add a spot for questions, and that way we can collect our questions.
Okay, and then will we be able to edit that page then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where we put everybody on the same page as a editor.
Where do we get access to this thing in like the fake student and the account we can sign into?
I'm going to put it up at the very top there under login. So.
And do we have to have basically all of this information still in there? We're just redesigning the layout. So like all of that crazy information that makes sense to anybody. That's all remain.
When I was gonna say this on Monday, that's where you make medium and low fidelity content, right? So Jackie, I don't waste your time. Here, watch me highlight student e-file and the name, right? That's where you write student e-file, but here you just go first, last, right? And same thing with all these fields here. Like, don't spend too much time on what each of these tabs are going to be. Like, this should be tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, right? Really make that low fidelity, and that will save you a lot of headache. That's also going to free up your design. Does that help?
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of that information, like those tables, are so confusing, and it's hard when we don't know like what that information means. If there's a better way that we can lay it out for the user, I guess.
I do that. Yes, you're going to do that. You're trying to lay it out better for the user, but you don't want to. If you use real content, I'm stuttering here because I don't want to rehash the lecture I'm recording here. If you use real content, it will box in your design. You're not there yet.
Okay.
Like,
so basically, I'm hearing design the design system, the tabs, the typography, the colors, how a table might function, a header element, a cell element, but don't worry about what's going to go into that yet, right?
Not yet.
So we're not going to have to worry, like, we're not going to have to make and like lay out all these like 20 different pages.
No, like I said in last lecture, please don't approach it that way. Right. We're 20 different, say that again, Evan, 20 different pages.
That was just a number I pulled out of my butt. But like, we don't have to say, okay, well, first we're designing this page and then we're going to design that. Like at the end, obviously we're starting with the atoms first, but then in the end, we won't have to then combine all these atoms and molecules into saying, well, we're going to do this page and then we're going to do this page and this page and this page until we have all the pages designed and laid out.
From our design system, right? I mean, and I understand these questions because y'all are it's like, what is this going to look like in the end? And I'm trying not to tell you because we don't know that, right? So what you want to do, right, is have your design system make a couple sample pages and say, Joe, Allison, this is how it should look. And then that's what they're going to implement, right? We don't want to come in here and say, I redesigned student info. And then and the client goes, oh, great, I like it. What is the performance tab going to look like? And that's not what we're doing here. Does that help, Evan?
That does a lot.
Yeah. Like, don't treat this, as I said, and don't treat this as like pages. I hate that word. I said in my lecture. But that was UX. That was Web 3. Good. I'm out of words. I've been talking all day. I'm just like I'm really out of words. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording. If you have additional questions, I'll hang out and answer them.